Okay. So you guys, so I started this video series as a way to connect a bunch of CEOs from all, not just Chicago. We have 30 million small businesses throughout the US, and with everything that's going on, I thought it was appropriate that we can try to connect with each other to support each other through this time. So the more people that know about your business, the more you can survive the pandemic. So, um, so we are here today with Howard Branch, who is an artist and also he's also in real estate investing. So, um, Howard, I'm going to let you start, but can you tell us how you got started in art and what you were doing before this?
I have always loved art since a child. So I started back into the arts probably a year ago doing abstract painting. So I just always am being inspired by that. I still got books and coloring books and sketches from stuff I did as a child. And I'm gonna still try to bring that up into what I'm doing now. Um, what I was doing before this, I was in retail management. I had a lot of stores. I did merchandising, retailing, staging of commercial spaces from 2,000 square feet to 90,000 square feet. And I also was a buyer for a company, and I used to source cars for the Southeast region for all their dealerships. So I
Nice.
did a lot of offset and offsite and on-site options for car dealerships too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about like the art that you're doing. Has your art changed over the time that like for the pandemic that we're going through? Has that inspired you or like had you shift in the type of art you're doing?
I'm thinking I'm doing the same art. I love landscapes and I love places, either places I've experienced or places of emotion. So to be honest, I've been doing more artwork lately and trying to, especially since we doing everything virtual, we on Zoom, trying to figure that out. Uh, so I'm trying to mostly work on how to get, my art into a digital platform since, we're trying to do this little to no contact.
And when did you start doing art? How long ago?
Abstract painting and art, I started doing 2018. So yeah, I got over 100 original pieces during that time. So
Wow. And what what inspires you? Like what things inspire you then for art?
yeah, it's like I said, it's mostly places. Like it's if you look at a lot of my art, like the one even behind me, I mean, it's mostly stuff that I feel like is, things that you can look at and see a landscape. I can see, rivers, I can see oceans, I can see mountains, I can see sunset in this one. And a lot of my art has that same common theme. I like to use colors because that's how I see it at that time. So, yeah.
And what it seems like in the short amount of time that you've been an artist, you've actually been featured in a couple of places. Can you tell us about those places?
Yeah, I did a color of Buddha. It's just a Buddha with a lot of colors that I made up. It's iridescent colors that glow. It has a lot of texture. I had it featured in Art Basel for 2019, and it was featured digitally.
Nice. And
I also have a piece called Diversity. It was featured in Oak Park Art League here in Oak Park, Illinois. So I'm a member of that association too.
nice. And the magazines that you were in?
Yeah. So I've been in Spotlight magazine. I had a 16 by 20 art piece. I featured the colorless rainbow. So it was a black and white piece I did.
Nice.
That was in Circle Arts Foundation, which they have Spotlight magazine in the UK.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
Exciting.
yeah.
So can we see some of your art then? We'd be,
Yeah.
I'd love
So
to.
I'm gonna bring some of my art. I'm on my phone now, but I did bring the Buddha that I'm currently working on for a client here in the building. This is a 48 by 72 Buddha.
Oh, wow.
So it has a lot of a lot of texture on it, which is what the client wanted. So again, this one, I wanted to show the texture because that's my favorite form, but it also has lines because I love architecture and stuff, and the client is what he's sort of wanted to go for as well. But it also has a story behind it, which I'm gonna leave it for the client to share. But it's definitely a conversation piece.
So when you are talking to a client that's going to have you do a commissioned piece for them, do you find out, do you have a series of questions, or do you try to find out the story of like what they want in the art, the colors? Like, how do you talk to a client when you're having a piece commissioned?
Yeah, I mostly try to get as much as information I can from the client. Like, what color palette you want to go with, or what color schemes you want to go with, even in your house. Is it more decor, or is it something that you really, something personal for you? But I try to learn as much as I can about the client, even if we have to hang out a couple of times. Yeah, it's really more personal. I like engagement. I really like to get to know people. So
That's
it's all
great.
part of it's all art. It's part of the process, getting to know somebody's art.
So like, for example, that commissioned piece, how long did that take you to, like, from the process of talking to the client all the way to finishing the piece? How long does that take?
Now, this one took 2 weeks, but sometimes depending on the texture, depending on how much they want into it. I mean, I done, took 3 months to do a piece. So it just depends. Yeah.
Okay. And how long, like, or what type of new media are you doing? Are you changing? Or are you being inspired by what's going on, or moving into a different type of art form?
Yeah, well, not as far as art form, mostly just the digital, like that digital presence. I want to work on maybe a streaming subscription that we talked about earlier, and maybe having hardware with it. I'm still in the working process of that, but been trying to partner with some people and collaborate on that.
Oh, that's really great.
Yeah, yeah.
And so what is the name of your company, and how can people get a hold of you?
It's Howard Branch Art, and right now I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and it's those same names, Howard Branch Art. So you can find me or my personal page on there, and I will have a website soon, which I'll post on the group, so everybody in the membership will
Great.
know.
And so just a little bit into like real estate too. Like, I know that when we originally talked, you were just looking for a primary residence, but now you're looking at going into real estate investing. So can
hmm
you tell me how that was, like, how you came across that, or how you decided to do that?
Well, once we was out looking at places, which, in Chicago, being in a bigger city, I mean, it's, I mean, you got a variety of places you can move to. I mean, condo towers, rentals, bungalows, duplexes, or what have you. But after talking to you, and you're my friend and stuff, we talked about the investment, and even meeting some of the people that that we talked about different products that's out there for people that's investing.
From the
Yeah, financial products out there. It's really, I mean, it's a no-brainer actually if you want to make more money and have additional income, or have a lucrative income, to be able to do whatever you want to do um, in your life. I mean, that's pretty much what spiked me. It's like I got so many passions. I mean, I love cars, I love houses, I love design.
Yeah.
Uh, I want to be able to do it all. So I think investing would be the best thing, property investment.
Yeah, I think that, like, the whole the journey that you've taken. I mean, when we first started looking for you, we were just looking for rentals, and
Mm-hmm.
now you've gone into, first it was a primary residence, then you came to one of the seminars, and you figured out that, hey, this
Mm-hmm.
is a better deal to invest. But
Right.
now you've even been talking about creating co-working spaces in TIF areas.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's really, like, such a growth for a client to see. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what type of co-working or commercial spaces in these TIF areas are you thinking of doing?
I know a lot of the TIF districts and some of the aldermen we've spoken with. It's like they looking for art districts. So, and that's right up my alley. So I would love to have my hands in that, and putting Howard Branch Art in the art district, and then having like living spaces for creators, other creative people, and that way they can network, collaborate, and build little companies, and it just keeps growing. I mean, that's what we're supposed to be doing anyway, just helping each other
Exactly. I think
expand.
in our conversations with some of the aldermen that we've spoken to, that having that co-living and like co-working spaces is such a new trend now that's
Mhm.
actually paying people money, and it makes sense. So I think
Right.
that I want to congratulate you on like wanting to take that challenge of going towards creating something that's not only good for yourself and growing your portfolio, but also for the betterment of the community. So
Yeah, I appreciate it.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course, like I'm
Yeah.
inspired by you. So
Yeah.
and
Thank you.
your art is beautiful. I see
Thank
your
you.
art,
Thank you.
so I'm like,
Thank you.
I'm so like honored that you were able to come on as my first guest for a
Yeah. Thank
very,
you for having me.
of course. The
Yeah.
series is going to be every day at 5 p.m.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
we have different CEOs every time. We're going to be talking to anywhere from people that are local in Chicago all the way to LA and Miami. We have people coming on that are all CEOs doing their own thing, that are, wanting to share what they do so that we can all support each other. So
Yeah. I love it. Sounds great.
it's going to be really fun. It's just
Yeah.
something better than talking about COVID, right? So,
Right, right.
so anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for coming on, Howard.
Oh,
And
thank you.
when you get your website up, I'm going to post it, your video, onto
Okay.
our private Facebook group.
Okay.
Also going to post it onto my first into my personal page too,
Okay.
to invite people to the group that we're doing now. So, um,
Okay.
and when you get your website up, please post it underneath the video so that we can all come visit your site and see more.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Look
Okay?
forward to it. Thank
Yeah.
you. All
So
right. Nice meeting you,
thank you
David.
so much for coming on, and
Yeah.
I will talk to you guys soon.
All right. Thank you. I'll see y'all.
Okay, bye.
All right. Bye bye.